Okay, welcome to my channel, and I want to apologize in advance for the sound, okay? Still working on that. This is a new camera and new sound, all right? So with that being said, we're going to be discussing the Atlanta, Georgia area, and we're going to be looking at all the assistance programs and resources that are important. I try to weed out all the different things that are just not that important, that are too difficult to get and a waste of time. I've done this for a lot of cities. Before you decide whether or not I'm qualified to make this video for you, I spent more than a decade out there on the street. I crossed, about 20 states, lived in 7 different cities, and also including Atlanta, okay? I actually was homeless out there, stayed at the Union Mission, even stayed in an abandoned house for quite some time. So, yes, I'm definitely qualified. I have one of the largest libraries of videos on manuals for HUD, COCs, and other things, okay? So, there's a little bit of supporting evidence. If you were actually on my website, if you take a look here, you go to HUD manuals, and much to your own delight, you'll see that I have every single manual that the employees use to rank you, score you, put you on a list, and figure out where you're going to be, okay? This is the stuff they train their people with. This is how they determine where you go on that list. You're not going to get information any more real than that. Everything in my website's like that. It's straight to the point. This is not a tips and trick video, I'm just not a talking head. I don't do that. We're just here to get to the point, okay? So anyways, let's move on. If you go under assistance programs and resources, you'll start to see that I'm working through the different cities. I think we did Houston, Texas yesterday. Now we're going over to the East Coast and pick the lamp, okay? So if we take a look here, the first thing you'll see is the HUD housing link. Now that's going to link right back to me, so you can just look at the manuals, okay? That's going to be the biggest golden nugget you're ever going to get if you decide to go ahead and get HUD housing. COC housing, for those of you that are super low income to homeless, now that it operates the same way HUD does, but it's a lot faster, a lot quicker, and they tend to pay more rent, in my opinion. So you want to check out their manuals. It tells you everything, including their score system, okay? Look, guys, for those of you that are literally on the sidewalk and the only thing you own is the clothes on your back, and then you're probably going to need an ID and a birth certificate, there are organizations that actually pay for that stuff and will help you get it. First of all, if you're starting from nothing, then what they'll do is you sit down with them, you give them all your information, they'll fill it out, they'll mail out a check, which they pay for. That check is theirs, and they'll acquire your birth certificate, okay? So at the same time, you're actually getting a mailbox, okay? Now, once you have that, you'll come on back down there, and then they'll give you another check, and that'll take you up to the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, if that's what they call it in your state. And then you'll go down there and you'll get your ID or renew a driver's license you hadn't had for some time, okay? Once you have those 2 pieces of document, you can move on to your Social Security card. Common sense. Let me give you a little bit of advice about Social Security Administration. Pick a location that isn't near downtown, okay, if you can. If you can't, then just go there. You're going to be wasting your time and your entire day if you do not show up an hour early. So if the building opens at 9, go out there at 8, and you're almost assured to be there. You'll be in line around the 3rd, maybe 5th person. It means you'll only be there about 2 hours. If you're going to drag your slippers in there around noon, go ahead and prepare to spend the afternoon there, okay? So bring a pillow and some blankets with you, because that's, you're doing yourself no favors by doing it that way, okay? So yeah, try to pick a location that is not near downtown, because that's the heavily used location. Food stamps. This is a no-brainer, but I want to tell you one thing. For you guys out there that are homeless or have virtually no income, you need a driver's license and Social Security, and I would pop into any shelter or any place that can print out a homeless letter and then have somebody or a church sign the damn thing. And between those 3 things, and then one last thing you want to get is an income verification. Simply go onto Google, if you're at the library, or on your phone, or on your computer, type in income verification. These things are free. The only thing they require at whatever location they're going to send you to get this is a driver's license, Social Security. They'll print out a sheet showing whatever you've currently been making for the year, and that's it. So those 4 pieces right there will help you walk out the door. Now, you guys applying online, you're wasting part of your time. Let me tell you why. You fill all that out, they're not going to mail you anything. They're just going to direct you to go into their office and do the same thing over again, except this time you hand them the paperwork. So just stop with the bullshit with that, okay? So yeah, just going on in there. And the nice part is, since everybody likes to fill it in online, which is nothing but a stall tactic by the food stamp office, when you go to the building, they're typically empty. So actually, it's sweetened the deal for people that like to just show up. You show up, there'll be 3 people there. Guess Guess who gets to walk out with a card? The rest of you guys applying online, we'll see you in a month, and then you're not going to have the right paperwork and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, have those 4 docs with you and you should be fine. If you're operating as a low-income person or better, then you need to bring, all your statements, car notes, rent notes, and everything else that you can prove. Now, moving on, utility assistance. Now, this is going to link right back into my website, and what it does, it tells you in each state which utility company will give you heavy discounts on your utilities, okay? If you're already no income to low income, then if you're not getting this, then you should be, okay? It's for you, unless you just like paying your bill in full, okay? Legal assistance, okay? I had to weed a lot of this out. There's a lot of lawyers that just talk smack. They just like watching their lips talk. 2 places that are really good in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, so the first is the Homeless Legal Protection. So you click that first link, and it'll take you to advocates. These are actual lawyers that are required by having their own license to go out and give their time. What the thing about lawyers is, if you try to look them up online, they send you to their law office, they just give you a runaround. But, the Law Association forces these guys to go out and give their time. And where they mainly like the pool or homeless shelters. You know why they do that? Or hubs, okay? Or resource centers. The reason they do that is because they can all go to one spot rather than have to go all over town, okay? So this is where you find them all that'll they have no choice but to help you. They can turn you down if you call their office. All right, so there's 2 links there, and in my opinion, both are actually very good. John Marshall at EDU, his deal, so that's another option for you. Now, to explain your legal options, okay, they're not going to get you, if you've got a criminal matter, they're typically not going to take that. But in some cases, if you have a misdemeanor that's below a Class A, maybe you've been a vagrant, a little bit of trespassing, stuff like that, very minor misdemeanor, they'll help you. They'll help you fight landlords. They'll also help you financially. In some cases, pay off your tickets. They'll also direct you to a homeless court, okay? And a lot of states and cities have homeless courts, and let me tell you the great deal about that. Rather than wanting to throw you in jail, the whole object is to keep you out of jail. Because they realize that homeless people are not stupid. They will use the jail as 3 hots in a cot, and so their goal is to just keep you out. So if you've got outstanding traffic tickets, stuff like that, roll them down there, just tell them you're homeless, and then it changes the game. Then they'll just try to give you the community service and other things, okay? So it's really just something that most people don't realize. So, you can get that through legal assistance, and so you can talk to them a variety of different things, okay? And they also actually help you pay tickets, okay? They're not going to help you pay 100 of them, but they will pay, if you've got 1 or 2, they may help you with all of it, okay? Let's talk about health care, mental care, dental care, eye care, anything to do with your body and your brain, okay? Look, Atlanta, Georgia has not changed much in the arena of helping people. Since I have been there, it has always been lacking in resources. Thankfully, it looks like now that 20 years have passed, that the medical centers there are starting to pick up the slack, since Atlanta still does not really have a resource hub or location where they pool all their resources. So it appears that these 2 organizations are picking up all the slack, and let's take a look at one of them real quick. And we go into healthcare. This may take a minute. Of course, that's going to sit here and play with me. Okay, folks, just bear with me. Okay, so Mercy Care. Look, guys, they take care of everything. They'll pay for the prescriptions, they'll pay for your doctors, they'll pay for your psychiatrist, your foot doctor, your eye doctor, your heart doctor, all of that. They also have caseworkers in the building, okay? So they're pretty much a little bit of everything to everybody. You need eyeglasses, and they help you with that, okay? So Mercy Care handles all of those things. I'm not saying that you can just walk in the door and it's simple. Sometimes they do require a little bit of evidence, proof of income or lack of income, okay? So I tell you, if you have any supporting documents, especially receiving things like SSI, Social Security Disability, survivor benefits, HUD housing, SNAP, food stamps, stuff like that, if you have letters from that, that should be an automatic qualifier to get you in the door and get services for next to nothing. Let's go back to the main website real quick, take a look. Sorry about that. Okay, so we know it's not my internet connection. All right, mental care, same thing over there. So your health care and mental care, dental care and eye care are going to go through them. And then the other one is going to be goodsamaritan.org. And we're going to take a look at this real quick. Okay, so this health center does the same thing. They have all of those resources. You know, be clever about this. Sign up for both, okay? And then pick the best services at each place, okay? As far as I can tell, look, you know, I do these videos on every city, almost every major city in America. And one thing Atlanta has a problem with is just a lack of funding for everything. It's like people out there that get the federal and state funding simply don't like spending it, because a city the size of Atlanta should have a lot more resources compared to a lot of places I've done videos on, okay? But beyond that, you do have these two places and they seem to cover everything. So I would call them a resource hub. You know, plan on spending the day there and then work your way methodically through that system to get everything that you need. And the main thing that you're really aiming to get is the caseworker, because that's going to be the person that's going to have 11 different arms and connect you with every kind of resource in the city, okay? So yeah, they cover everything. Now we're going to back it up now that you know the two main hot spots. Because, you know, you think of medical care, eye care, dental care, and all that stuff. You don't think those places do more than that, man. They do a lot more than just deal with your medical problems. You get a caseworker, they can deal with everything over there, okay? Let's talk about homeless shelters. Look, there are not a lot of great options, okay? I don't know if the Atlanta Union mission has changed, at least for the men over there, but while I was there, it was completely unimpressive. And look, I've been through Memphis. I've stayed in Memphis Union Mission. I've got to say that Atlanta homeless shelters are some of the nastiest places I've ever been. And like I said, I don't know if they changed any. So for the men, you know, there's not a lot of options out there. You can go to Salvation or you can go to Atlanta Union Mission. Let me tell you something. Shelters are just shelters. It doesn't matter where in the country you go. There's a certain expected level of care that you're going to get, which is usually non-existent. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say with a shelter, just don't be judgmental, okay? If it ends up being a better situation than what you're already in, then just be grateful for that. And then just shake off all the bad people that tend to be a little bit harassing at these places. Women's shelters, good news for you guys. Look, Nicholas House, the first link up there. This place has a stellar reputation for women and children. I would definitely check them out. Look, if they don't have room, then, you know, I'm going to recommend you down to Atlanta Mission again for women and children. It's not going to be near as good, but you have to have a backup, okay? If A don't work out, go for B. While you're over there at Atlanta Mission, keep working and get yourself in Nicholas House. That's a good place, okay? Teens and under 21, look, you kids don't have anything to worry about. So in other words, if you're an independent teen, you've run away, whatever, and you can legally be out there on the streets, you need a place to go. Covenant House, which is pretty much an organization that goes by the same name in most states. Look, you're a teen, okay? So it's just federally mandated. They treat you better. You don't have a lot to worry about. So if you are somebody under the age of 21, and in some states under the age of 24, usually the situation is pretty good. But remember, because you are a teen or you're under 21, they're likely to treat you more as a child than they would as a responsible adult, okay? So you will have to deal with a little bit of having your life run, but the situation is incredibly better than going to an adult shelter. So I would recommend taking advantage of that. And I should also remind people that, you know, are gay or transgender, stuff like that, especially with the teen shelters, there's usually a pretty good situation for you guys. And you know, it really just depends on shelters, you know, especially the religious ones. You might have to keep to yourself, okay? All right, resource hubs, day centers, drop-in centers, and navigation centers, okay? Look, they're all the same thing, okay? But depending on where you are in the country, like when I was in homeless San Francisco, they called it a navigation center. You know, when you're in Houston, they call it a drop-in center. In other places, they call it a day center. And then other places, they call it a resource. Look, it's all the same damn thing. Atlanta doesn't have a very strong system for a place where homeless people congregate on one building where all the different state agencies and city get together and pool all the resources. It looks like all the medical centers that I recommend for the medical is where all that seems to happen. Like I said, the community in Atlanta is underserved. It would almost be beneficial to you to just get on the first Greyhound and catch another state, okay? But I don't want to beat up Atlanta, okay? People are tough out there. And you can survive this if you want to. So hopefully this list has helped you. You know, if you have questions, let me know. It's not intended to be a definitive list of everything, but it's going to connect you in the right places that are not going to waste your time. That's the important part if you're starting out. And this is also, like I said, an excellent resource list for people that are just simply low income. You do not need to be homeless to get these services for next to nothing. If you're going to use a state-sponsored hospital, you'll sit in the ER for 24 hours and still not get medical care. So why your low-income self is not going down to where the homeless people get their stuff, I don't know, because they usually have pretty decent doctors, you know. It sure beats the hell out of going to state-sponsored clinics too, because the clinics take a month to get an appointment. Go to where the homeless people go, okay? It's just a better situation and you pay nothing. All right, folks, I've enjoyed it, and I think in the next couple of days we'll be going over another city. Probably this time we'll do the Upper East Coast. All right, thank you. Bye.